If you've ever driven on the Central Coast, you've probably realized that Pismo Beach, Grover Beach, and Arroyo Grande are right next to each other, but each one feels completely different. Today, I'm going to break down the differences in lifestyle, the different housing, and the vibe so that you can decide which town is best for you. The biggest difference in these towns is that Grover Beach and Pismo Beach actually have coastal access. Arroyo Grande is a little further inland, which really changes the weather quite a bit. In Pismo Beach, you will find surfboards, a beach town energy. It's very touristy and has a lot of visitors. Grover Beach is more laid back, affordable, more local, and it's very evolving and developing. Arroyo Grande has the small town charm, the historic village, and a more of a family oriented and more spread out. As far as housing and real estate, the median home prices in these three towns vary quite a bit. In Pismo Beach, as of August 2025, the median housing price is about $1.2 million. In August 2025 in Grover Beach, the median sales price was $550,000. And in the city of Arroyo Grande for August 2025, the median sale price was around $1.2 million. Pismo Beach tends to be a little pricier because there are houses right on the beach with amazing ocean views, and there's a lot of second homes and short-term rentals. Grover Beach is more budget friendly. It's a good entry point for investors and first-time home buyers. And Arroyo Grande can really range in housing types. They have tract homes, and there's also very large ranches on large parcels. All right, let's talk about the housing in Pismo Beach. So the housing in Pismo Beach has beachfront property. Well, not exactly beachfront. There's some downtown Pismo Beach that you can walk to the beach, but there's nothing actually on the beach. There is some right on Shell Beach on the cliff overlooking the ocean, but that has some coastal access by going downstairs. But a lot of places in Pismo Beach have beautiful ocean views. There are amazing houses here. There's a lot of vacation rentals, and these are a lot of second homes. So this is a great opportunity. Our real estate market here on the Central Coast is always rising in value. This is a great place to own a second home, have a place to escape to your small California beach town while gaining equity. This is also a great market for short-term rentals. Although the city of Pismo Beach is not, they're still giving out short-term rental licenses, but they're trying to get away from it. But sometimes you can find short-term rentals that are being sold with the license. Again, check with the city. This is always changing. Okay, and then Grover Beach. So Grover Beach is more budget friendly. There's a lot of single family homes here. There's some condos. There's a lot of new development. Grover Beach is really being developed right now. They're adding all these huge condo complexes that are just blocks from the beach. Like you could walk down to the beach. These start in the $400,000 range, and some of them are even studios. There's also a lot of properties in Grover Beach that are very dated, but sit on very large lots. And the city of Grover Beach is encouraging people to come in and build ADUs on these lots. We have a housing crisis here. We need more housing. Everyone wants to live in paradise. Go figure. So they are very encouraging of these permits and want people to develop Grover Beach. So if you are a real estate investor, if you are interested in developing, call me. We've got some opportunity here. Arroyo Grande housing varies a lot. There are massive ranches that sit on very large parcels outside of the town of Arroyo Grande. There's some single family tract homes, and there's even some condos here and there and townhouses. And these can range from price probably in the $600,000 range to multiple $1 million properties. Things to do. So Pismo Beach, obviously, you have the beach. Like this is one of the most beautiful beaches in California. There's an amazing downtown area in Pismo Beach that features small little surf shops. There's a bunch of t-shirt shops. There's a bunch of local restaurants, some of the best seafood you will ever find. And of course, clam chowder. That's what Pismo Beach is known for. There are clams all over Pismo Beach. There are large statues of clams that get painted for every single holiday and everything that's going on. Clams are big here, and the clam chowder is uncomparable. You will not find better clam chowder anywhere. In fact, there is a clam festival every year where every restaurant brings their clam chowder and you can go and literally try them all. And they have a competition to determine who has the best clam chowder that year. It's something you don't want to miss. There's also some other really great events in downtown Pismo Beach. They have the Christmas tree lighting at Christmas. There is the classic car show in May. And like I said, the clam festival. There's always something going on in Pismo Beach. Grover Beach is a little different. It's a little south of Pismo Beach. It's not as touristy. So on 4th of July weekend, when everyone is flocking to the city of Pismo Beach, there's not many people in Grover Beach. But Grover Beach has one of the on-ramps to the Oceano Dunes recreational area. So this is a place where you can go drive on the dunes, you could go camp out there, you could take off-roading vehicles, and you could ride horses out in these sand dunes. There's also some great walking paths right along the beach. That is a great for a sunset walk. Like I said, Grover Beach is getting to be very developed. They're really building like a downtown area that Grover Beach never had before. So in there's some new restaurants going in, there's some new shops going in, and they're really making it more of a city feel. Also, Grover Beach is home to the Amtrak train station, which makes it really easy for commuters. You could hop on the train and it'll take you south or north. Things to do in Arroyo Grande. So Arroyo Grande is a very, very small town feel. We have the historical village of Arroyo Grande with shops and restaurants. There's a lot of wine tasting outside of the city of Arroyo Grande, and there's a couple tasting rooms in the village of Arroyo Grande also. Arroyo Grande is very much an agricultural town. We have a harvest festival every fall that celebrates this. Like there are tractors in our parade. We celebrate all the produce that's grown here and the agricultural and farm community. We also have a strawberry festival in the spring that celebrates strawberries. A lot of strawberries are grown here on the Central Coast. In fact, most of the strawberries for the entire country are grown here. So we celebrate that with a strawberry festival every spring. Okay, so weather and climate. So Pismo Beach is on the coast. You're going to get your foggy mornings. It can be breezy sometimes when the breeze comes off of the ocean. But all in all, the weather here is a perfect 65 degrees year round. Sometimes it goes up a little higher than that, sometimes a little lower, but really not much more. We do see some rain occasionally in the winter, but not a whole lot. It's really pretty perfect year round. Grover Beach is slightly inland. So as that fog starts to burn off in the late morning, early afternoon, Grover Beach tends to get a little sunnier before Pismo. Arroyo Grande, since it's not actually on the coast, it's a little inland. You don't get as much fog as you do in Pismo and Grover Beach. In fact, out in like the Lopez Lake, Wasna area, you get very little fog out there at all. So it could be 10 to 15 degrees warmer once you take the trip out there versus right on the coast. And again, perfect 65 degrees year round. Okay, so the community and schools. Pismo Beach is very touristy. There's a lot of tourists, there's a lot of retirees, and not many schools. Arroyo Grande has most of the schools for the 5 cities and South County area. It's very family oriented. It has a reputation of being great for families. Very great schools in this area. And Grover Beach is kind of right in the middle. You have a lot of commuters, you have retirees, and then you also have a lot of families moving in as well. Okay, as far as accessibility, all of these towns have access to the 101 freeway. If you go north, you can get into San Luis Obispo. If you go south, you can get to Santa Maria and Santa Barbara. As far as walkability, Pismo Beach has their downtown area. So if you're right near the downtown area, there's a lot to walk to. If you're in the village of Arroyo Grande, you could walk right to the village and all the shops and restaurants in there. Grover Beach is very much of like a grid layout. And like I said, they're really developing this downtown area, but it's not quite there yet. So there is some spots at Grover Beach where you can walk to Commerce, but it's going to be more in the future. So who is each town for? Pismo Beach, I would say, is really for vacation home seekers, short-term rental investors, and retirees, and just the beach lifestyle lovers. Grover Beach is a little more budget conscious. You can have commuters that commute to San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, and also real estate developers and investors. There's a lot of opportunities in Grover Beach. Arroyo Grande is really great for families, retirees, and people who want a small town feel and maybe have a little more land than you could find in Pismo Beach or Grover Beach. So whatever it is you're looking for, there's a little bit of everything offered in the South County of San Luis Obispo County on the Central Coast. If you're thinking about making a move or investing in this area, reach out. I know no. If you're thinking about making a move or investing in this area, reach out. I'd love to help you with this. Caitlin Brooks, 805-440-4084.